Hey, and we are back, and we're gonna take us a nice evening ride through the snow and the fog from Kaiserslautern. I guess that's the way you say it. Um, all the way up to Mannheim. Okay, we're on the new route for Train Sim World 5. It's called Pfälzische Ludwigsbahn. I think if I'm butchering that, I apologize, but I'm doing my best over here. Right, so let's get the BR 642 set up, getting the high beams on, getting the lights on, getting the instrument lights on. It's pretty dark. We get away from the station, it's gonna be pretty dark in here. Get all that going. Let's get our safety systems on. So behind you, you have this panel here. On that top row, you have your PZB to turn it on, but on this side here, you can switch the mode, like if you want to run freight or something else, and you got a CFA there, okay? But I usually just turn mine on from right here, up top row, over towards the right, get it on. Then we'll go back and have a seat and just continue getting set up. We've already opened the door so people can come in. We just check in. That's our emergency. That's the spring brake emergency control down there. There's our PZB controls there on the left. We got HVAC. Let's cut a little heat on. Okay. And I'm just checking out. Get our headlights set on. I'm just looking around to see. The destination board's already set. It says Karlsruhe, but we're only going to Mannheim. So we just come over. We're just looking around, checking her out. Let's get our wipers on. We're gonna need those. Slow is better, probably. Yeah. All right. Getting ready to roll out. Get those doors closed, and let's go on and push out. Release that brake. Train brake is already on drive mode. So let's just go on. Get our combination control with some traction. It's kind of snowy and icy out, so it's going to be a little wet, so let's not too much or you'll be slipping around. Here we go. Now you saw I turned PZB on, so you know what that means. We got to keep her under 40 when we leave the station, and while our system runs like a test mode. So you see the 85 and the 70 blinking at the PZB light indication lights. That's that test mode. So don't go over 45. I usually keep her under 40. There's a yellow on our signal, but since we're in test mode, we just creep on out. Not even going to acknowledge it. Well, let's acknowledge it anyway. Won't hurt. Let's creep on out of this station and get on that main line. Over to the right. Get our desk lights on. We're probably going to need a little help. It's going to get kind of dark. And right here, I think we switch over to the main line. Yep. Let's get on out here. And that usually means we're going to switch, our PZB will become active here any second. And then we can get up to line speed. But it's still blinking, so we just keep, here we go. Our PZB just went active. Just keep her, until it looks like we got a speed sign coming up on both sides of the track. There's a 15, so once our tail passes that, we can go and speed up to 150 kilometers an hour. You remember, whatever number's on the speed sign, multiply that by 10, and that's the line. That's the highest permissible speed. So here we go. We're rolling out. BR 642 is actually by far my favorite EMU in this game. I used to love the talent with his tempo mat and everything like that, but I like this guy right here. Really the only reason I bought that route, that DLC, was to get access to this train and some services in the timetable, just instead of just buying a train and sticking it on our other routes. So I just wanted to drive it on the route that it was meant for. And so like here, we got another 8 kilometers to our first stop. We're on a regional service. early in the morning. Nice little snow shower going on. Signal is green, so we're good. We just push. Even though it's snowing, it still looks like we can see pretty well. And back to the point of why I bought the route. This is a historically important mainline route. Um, However you say it, Pfälzische Ludwigsbahn. Uh, and they built it in sections throughout the mid 1800s. The line originally terminated on the western side of the Rhine at Ludwigshafen, but was quickly extended over the eastern bank to Mannheim, followed eventually by the movement of that Ludwigshafen station to create a seamless through line. So no hopping back and forth over the river. So we're just, all this main line is on one side of the river now. Pretty cool. I read about it when Mustache Man used to run trains through it until the Allies got control of the line. But yeah, pretty cool. It seems like throughout all of the Train Sim World Series, I've had more affinity for the German routes and cities and different countrysides due to their historical significance. But anyways, this line's pretty cool. They give you two halves of the line, and you know, it's like you don't get the entire line, but the part that they gave us in the game really shows some of the contrast between the scenery. We're leaving Kaiserslautern, so it's like we're gradually working our way through a forest and through these towns and everything. But when we get to Neustadt and Mannheim down there, it's all straight and level tracks, more cities, and you know, some visual interest there because of all of the industry and banking yards and different things there, freight yards. Okay, so I feel like I would really I was like one of the people who would really appreciate them bringing this route. Okay, and it came with a BR 111, BR 425, a 406. I had one of those already. 185. So you got some good trains, some doppelstock coaches, and a cab car, and a bunch of freight wagons and stuff like that, right? Cool. So we're just zooming through here. We're just killing it. And just saw the Dorito with a 12 on it, so we really need to slow down to 120. We were getting up there for a second, but we're already under 120, so we're pretty good. We could just ease into here. Our first stop is I'll say about 2.5 kilometers. I tried to turn off all of the HUD and speedometer and all the little indications, little arcadey stuff, but I had a couple complaints from people who were trying to learn things with the game, and they said they really couldn't see what I was clicking, and maybe I didn't explain everything, and the little tooltips will help. So I left the tooltips on, and naturally that meant I had to leave on the clock and the next objective and max speed up there, but I don't use the speed because I prefer to use the signage on the track. So we just saw another Dorito for 10. We need to slow down under 100. I get way under there just in case something is coming up, especially with yellow signals. Signs is one thing that is designed for you to slow down there, but if I see yellow lights, I usually take her down to about 45. Let's just go on and ease in here. Our first stop. How y'all liking the performance? So I got a new graphics card. I got RTX 4070 Ti, I think, but definitely helped out with a lot with frame rates and stutters in my game, and I can run it at 4K. So I'm pretty happy about that. Remember how Things used to be hectic back in the day, man. During COVID, you remember how much it was, like $1,000 for a video card, for a halfway decent video card. Well, oh, I think I slowed down a little too soon. Let's go on and ease up a little further. Even though there ain't nobody out here, maybe somebody wants to get off. They shouldn't have to walk so far to the stairs. So let's just go and creep up, get them a little closer to the stairs. It's not like I'm a driver for New Jersey Transit or something. There you go. And we'll stop down here and give them easier access to the stairs. It's going to push out. So I didn't see the 85 and the 70 blinking on the dash this time, so we can go on and get up the line speed. It's a solid 85. So remember, when it's wet out, just ease up on that throttle a little bit. Not so much. You'll spin the wheels. What's that? There's a 10 down there, so you know what that means. We when our tail passes that, we can get up to 100 kilometers an hour. 10 times 10. Let's just go on and boogie and get on down this track. So y'all remember with the PZB now. When it's active and you're riding along a line speed, it's whatever those signs say. Okay? Now, when you see that Dorito with a number on it, you need to acknowledge it with the PZB acknowledge button, joystick, whatever. And then you need to hurry up and get down to whatever that speed is. So if you see the Dorito and it has a 7 on it, you need to acknowledge that when you pass it. The yellow light, the 1000 hertz light will come on your dash under that blue 85, right? And you need to get down under, under the 7 quick. 7 times 10 is 7, right? If it's a 6, if it's a 4 times 10, you need to get under that speed. And there will be magnets on the track, little metal boxes along the track that's monitoring your progress in slowing down. And if you're not slowing down fast enough, you will get a brake penalty. You will slam on the brakes. You would have to come to a stop, reset your system, and depart again. You're going to be late, right? So keep your eyes open. The other thing that you should acknowledge and slow down for, they got blinking green lights. There's a blinking green light. A lot of times there's a Dorito with a little triangle, yellow triangle sign near it telling you to slow down to a certain speed. Or there may be on that signal, on that signal pole, a sign with a number on it. And a yellow number, yellow means you need to acknowledge that and slow down, just like if it was a Dorito. Now, once you see the yellow sign or Dorito, if you see the Dorito sign, typically once you get down the track a little bit, you need to slow down before you see the white sign. It's going to be just a plain white speed sign that number matches the same number on the Dorito. If it was a signal post and there was a yellow number on it, there's a Dorito there with an 8 on it. Let's slow down. Let's get under 8. So we acknowledged it. But no 1000 hertz light. The yellow light did not come on. Okay? But if it was a signal post with a blinking green or a yellow with a yellow number on it, you need to acknowledge that like it's a Dorito. But instead of a speed sign, you will see probably another signal post with that same number on it again, but this time it's white. When you see the white speed sign, that's being enforced at that point. So you need to have slowed down before you get there. Now, I'm gonna violate those rules a couple times in this run because the weather gets really bad and I can't see. So what sign we got here? That's a 8. So we're good up to 80 kilometers an hour at this point right now, and that matched the Dorito previous to it. That was a Dorito with an 8 on it. So we acknowledged that Dorito. It didn't light the 1000 hertz light, but we still acknowledged it. We still slowed down to under 80. And then when we passed that white 8 on the sign just now, we were following the rules. We were good. When you see those little signs with the stripes on it like those, each stripe on that sign indicates 250 meters. So if it's 4, you got 1 kilometer to a signal. It's telling you of a signal that's coming up that you're probably not going to see until you get right on it. So it's sort of a heads up that a signal is coming. Right, there's a 9 on that speed sign. So in a little bit we can accelerate up to 90, maximum 90 kilometers an hour on our train. You can see since we left Kaiserslautern, it's been a lot of trees and forests. Just, not a lot of hills. It's just like a tight curves and close-up valleys. You just coming through just nice and eventually. So we're at our second stop. Half a kilometer, like 500 meters away from this station. I like to toot my horn a little bit. Sometimes I toot it in the tunnel. It sounds different. But let's go on and ease up to our next station stop. And I see a lot of you guys struggling with the PZB and struggling with making stops too. Like some of you guys are ruthless with the stops, but that's cool. Me personally, I don't mind being a little late. I just ease up to the track. What we got on this sign? Nothing, just green, fine. And then you see that sign with the little chevrons on it. That's let you know you got a bridge crossing. Sometimes I toot my horn there too. So let's go on and slow down in here. By the time you hit the platform, you should be doing about 40 kilometers an hour. Don't come in here flying and trying to stop perfect and stuff. I mean, this passenger comfort issues. We simulating. It's not a race. Let's just stop here. Let's get on up out of here. It feels like the snow is getting a little more intense, but it's not too bad. I can still see. Oh, it's starting to get foggy though. It does start to look a little foggy, working our way through this forest. So it might become a challenge to see everything. That was a 10 speed sign, so we're good up to 100 as soon as we pass it. It's a green. The Dorito was faced the other way, so we don't worry about it. Let's just get on up to speed. But I can tell you right now, it's getting a little tough to see. And I think this is where I have my troubles. Now, don't be a moron like me. When you can't see, I would chill out a little bit. I'm sure your boss would understand, But, yeah, I mean, you can hardly see. Snow's not helping. The headlights aren't helping. Fog certainly ain't helping. But we're making our way. Nothing really bad happened yet so far. And if we do have a break penalty or two here and there, it's not going to kill us. You know, we're doing pretty good. Hasn't been a whole lot of challenge either so far, so we keep that in mind. And you know, coming down those hills now, use that combination power brake handle to, you know, try to get you a little break in. There was a Dorito with a 9 on it, so we need to slow down a little bit. Let's get under 90. There you go. Especially down hills, I try to slow down a little more than what I need to slow down, because when you come off the brake, it's going to start accelerating ever so slightly due to gravity. So you just keep your eyes on that. We saw that Dorito with the 9 on it, so it's got to be a speed sign with a 9 on it. There it is. We just passed it. I saw it. Cut those wipers off. Just scratching up our windshield now. And I'm sorry, I can hardly see. That's a green, so we might be all right. But just keep that speed in check coming down this hill. It's like another green. Yep. But we are looking for yellow lights and Doritos. But boy, oh boy, I can hardly see it. I think we just passed a 10 speed sign. But being that I can't see, I'm not going to even do it. Can't see in the forest either. Like, wow. But Train Sim World 5 is finally starting to feel like it's getting where I would like it to be. Now, there's a lot of bugs and BS, you know, that just goes from release to release. But I'm starting to like it. We're starting to get there. I don't know if either I've finally got my computer built to a place where I can enjoy it. Oh, that Dorito was backwards, so don't worry about it. I don't know. Oh, that looks like a yellow. But it's over there. You only worry about the signals on the right-hand side. Neustadt. Or the Ludwigsbahn that we're on right now, but you get what I'm saying. I can't see, boys. I'm telling you. Ah, that's nice. Green signal. I swear, if a Dorito comes up, I probably won't see it. I'm trying to keep my eyes peeled, but I'm telling you, it's tough. There's another green. I don't know if I'm bugging or not, but I thought there was a Dorito on that damn sign, on that signal post. I'm probably bugging. Still another green. There was 2 lights on the ground. I could not tell what color they were, if they were white. It usually tells me we're near like some, you know, banking operations. Whoa, that red kind of spooked me. Whoa, there was another red kind of spooked me, but ours was green. But I swear I can't see any signs. We might be running right into something right around here. What's going on? Slow it down. What's that? Nothing. There's a signal coming up. 500 meters. There's a Dorito with a 9. Let's acknowledge that. Green signal. Green aspect. I've got my eyes peeled, man. I'm telling you, I can't see. Jeez. can see cars and stuff over there going through the woods, but I can't see nothing on this track. What's that? Green signal. Okay. All those signs were backwards, so no concern to me. Yeah, there's a highway running next to us. And boy, is it foggy and spooky up in here. All right, signal coming in 750 meters, 500 meters, 250 meters. Here's our signal. It's green. So, I mean, we're doing all right. Oof. Let's ease up on the speed a little bit. Let's get her back under control. Get her under 90. Oof. Coming down this hill flying and can't see. Alright, I'm looking. Looks like a green signal. Signal coming up. Oh boy. Oh, just tripped. Yeah, I missed something. Must have missed a Dorito. That slammed on our brakes pretty easy. So that's a brake penalty. So all we got to do is reset. You hit the PCV release and then the acknowledge. Reset your throttle and your brake. Pull on out again, but it's blinking again. 85 to 70. It's going to test again. Now, you can release if you're sure it's safe, but I'm not sure that it's safe or not. I'm looking on the ground for something. I don't see nothing. But it would help to know if that was a yellow light or a Dorito I passed. Doritos don't usually bring you to a stop. Yellow lights do. Like there's, a Dorito usually doesn't proceed. Oh, what's that? It looked yellow. A Dorito doesn't usually precede a red signal, but yellows do. Our light just turned red. That's the 500 hertz. We need to slow that down to about 25, and we didn't. We missed something else that we should acknowledge. So it tripped our brakes again. So we just reset again. Remember before, you hit the release, and you hit the acknowledge. Now the red is back on now. So that means we can only move 25 kilometers an hour max. But that usually means there's a red light around here. But I didn't see any yellow signals. So let's just ease up. Try to see if we see anything. Starting to see a signal. It's red. Yeah, let's stop right here because I can hardly see what's going on. Okay, it's red, but it has the 3 little white lights under it. And I know a long time ago I tried to explain to you guys, like when you see a red with a little white light under it like that, or a series of white lights under it, that means you can proceed through that red light, but it's usually at a very slow speed, like 15, 20 kilometers an hour. You have to go through this red pretty slow. You see how it has the white lights? That lets you know you can go through this red. If those white lights aren't there, like that one on the left, don't go through. Your game is over. Okay? But I just wanted to sit here for a second and explain that to you guys. To prove it to you, let's contact the signaler, right? And he says, look, proceed as signals indicate. So we can go through this red, because if it wasn't okay, he would say denied. All right, let's ease on through here. And also, even though he told you you can go through this red light, you really should acknowledge this signal as well. Now, I won't. Just since I'm stopped anyway, I'll show you what happens if you don't. So I'm showing you I'm not going over the speed. I'm doing like 10 kilometers an hour. But watch this. I didn't hit it. So boom, stop again. I was supposed to acknowledge that red and creep through at 15. I think it's 15 kilometers. But once you release, acknowledge, reset your throttle, we can pull away. And now remember that speed restriction for the 500 the 500 hertz magnet. But that light went out, the red went out, so now it's blinking 75 to 85 still. We need to keep her under 45. So let's just go and creep out, ease away until we'll probably be at our station before the test is over. Now, if you're sure there's no problems or no danger and everything is clear, you can release this test and just go ahead and accelerate. But I don't do that. A lot of times I just, I let the test go its course. I'm really curious to what I missed back there, but it was definitely something. And I would like to think it was a yellow signal. But I'll run it again and see. Alright, let's just creep on in here. This is a museum on the right hand side. Probably a train museum, I would think. Yeah, we need to cut those wipers back on. It's starting to snow again. And here we are. This is our final stop. And thanks for riding with me. And we'll be back making more Train Sim World 5 videos. I know I've been gone for a while, but you know, real life, real work, real things to deal with. But y'all stay up. I'll see you soon.